Hello, I'm Mrs. Rekha Hassan, Assistant Professor of English. The session today is on the poem Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes by Thomas Gray. This poem has been prescribed for BBA Sem 1 with the text titled Compulsory Foundation Course in English by Mangalore University. Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Gold Fishes by Thomas Gray. Before going to the poem, let's have an introduction to the poet. Thomas Gray, whose period falls from 1716 to 1771, was an English poet who published very of his writings, and yet he was considered one of the most distinguished poets of his time. And he was even offered the position of poet laureate. He was widely known for his elegy written in the churchyard, published in 1751. Some of his famous works include Ode on the Spring, Ode on a Distant Prospect of Eton College, The Bard, and Hymn to Adversity are his well-known poems. He was even offered, as I said, the poet laureate position in 1757. He was regarded one of the most English language poets of the mid 18th century. He was known for the graveyard poets of his time. Now let us see what an ode is. Ode is a lyric poem written with a serious topic. Gray uses this elevated style and a lofty language of a dignified elegy, which has a humorous effect, which was of everyday times, having domestic nature of the events which has been described. This poem has been written to cheer up his friend, the author Horace Walpole, whose cat had accidentally drowned. Now, let us have a glance on the poem. This poem, Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes, is based on the actual incident, as I told, of his friend Horace Walpole, who had cats in his house, which was one of the cat was actually drowned, and the cats' names were Salima and Zara. Gray describes how Walpole's female cat Salima had, having spied some goldfishes in a bowl, tries to reach inside and catch the fish, but the fate was against it, and she ends up her life by falling straight into the bowl and drowns. Gray ends his ode with a moral message. Not everything is as good as it seems. All that glitters is not gold. This sentiment is borrowed from Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. Through this, he beautifies, and it's a message for female that they should be very careful enough before taking a false step, because once a false step is taken, cannot be retrieved again. Gray uses the elevated style and lofty language of a dignified elegy. As I said, it has a humorous effect, and it is said that this poem is written to cheer up his friend. Now we'll come to the poem directly. I'll go on explaining each and every line of the poem. First, I'll read out the poem. It was on a lofty way's side, where China's gayest art had died, the sure flowers that blow, dearest of the tabby kind. The pensive Selima reclined, gazed on the lake below. Lofty refers to high, tub-shaped flower vase, and the China's gayest art. It was a very famous art of China, and this was dyed with the colorful colors, and the azure flowers refers to the bright blue color. Timorous, which is very are fair in color, tabby, gray or brownish with stripes. The pensive refers to the cat which was in a very thoughtful mood. These are the meanings of the words you find in the poem. Now going to the poem. It was on a lofty vast side where China's gayest art had died. The azure flowers that blow, demurest of the tabby kind. The pensive Selima reclined, gazed on the lake below. Here is the cat by name Selima. It was once sat leaning against this tall vessel, which had been painted richly and with the bright colors by the Chinese craftsman, dyeing with the colors of blue, and you find the flowers blooming on it, and the Selima who was leaning against this uh, was in a very thoughtful mood and gazing at the water in a large vessel which had the shape of a vase. Selima looked at the water as if she were the most modest and the meekest of all the female cats. Selima, which happens to be the favorite cat of her owner. So she was given more importance than other cats. Now coming to the second stanza. Her conscious tail, her joy declared, the fair round face, the snowy beard, the velvet of her paws, her coat that with the tortoise voice, her ears of jet and emerald eyes, she saw and purred applause. Selima's tail, which was swaying from side to side, indicates that she was in a very joyous mood. She had a fair round face and a snowy, the rich white colored beard, and her paws, which was velvety in texture, which was very soft and smooth. She had a thick and hard skin, which seemed to be the thick and hard skin of a tortoise. And she had ears, which was perfectly black in color, and eyes, emerald in color, which is green in color. She looked at water in the vase and murmured her approval, her presence over there. She saw and purred applause. She was there and she is making others to feel her presence over there. Now coming to the third stanza. Still had she gazed, but missed the tide. Two angel forms were seen to glide the journey of the stream. Their scaly armors Tyrian hue, through richest purple to the view, betrayed a golden gleam. Selima would have continued to stare at water as she was in a thoughtful mood. But suddenly she observes the two angel like figures moving in the water effortlessly, very freely enjoying the glide in the water as though they were in charge of it, and these figures were none other than the goldfishes. These figures seems to be the spirits which controlled all waters and having thick skins which served as their defense against any possible attack, just as the knight's armor serves as his protective coat. These fishes were of a deep red color, reminding an onlooker of the rich colors which were manufactured in the ancient times in the island of Tyre. Now coming to the next stanza. The hapless nymph with wonder saw a whisker first and then a claw. With many an ardent wish, she stretched in vain to reach the prize. What female heart can gold despise? What cat's ours to fish? The hapless refers to the unfortunate. Nymph refers to the beautiful maiden. She was wondering at these color of the fishes, these angelic like figures, in order to make those fishes as her prey. She stretches out first her whisker and then a claw. The fishes in the vase seem to be the delicious food for Salima. So she stretched her whisker, then a claw towards the water in order to catch the fish. But all her efforts proved futile, worthless, useless, because something disastrous happened later. She stretched in vain to reach the prize, to reach her prey, with an ardent wish. She had a deep desire to have those fishes as her prey. In order to catch the fish in the water, she stretches out her claw, which has been referred to the female heart, which always craves for gold. In the same way, the cat, with an ardent desire of getting the fish as its prey, reaches out to the flower vase. The cat is referred to the female heart who never says no to gold. So the poet describes that the cat cannot remain indifferent to the presence of fish as a woman who cannot be indifferent for gold. Coming to the next stanza. Presumptuous maid with looks intent, again she stretched, again she bent, nor knew the gulf between. Malignant fate sat by and smiled. The slippery verge her feet beguiled. She tumbled headlong in 8 times, emerging from the flood. Salima, who proved to be very confident as a female cat, looks at the fish, gazing at it. She once again stretched her whisker and claw towards the fish, not knowing, not realizing that a gulf of water, a huge quantity of water, stood between her and her prey. Even fate was against her wish. Fate was smiling with amusement. Salima was betrayed by the slippery brim on the vase. She fell with her head first into the water. 8 times she rose to the surface of the water from the bottom of the vase, uttering cries, craving for help of the other creatures over there, other cats over there. She prays the other cats to help her, to save her, to come to her help. But no water animals, nor dolphin, nor any spirits come to her help. Here, presumptuous, the word means not knowing the limits, crossing the limits. The cat, in order to get her prey, not realizing the gulf of water between her and the prey. The malignant fate refers to the wicked, the cruel fate smiled at her activity of getting her prey. So, in this stanza, she falls into water and she cries for help, rising from the water 8 times. Let's see in the next stanza whether she was saved or not. She mewed. She is calling for help to every watery god. She is calling all the water spirits to rush to her and help her. She mewed to every watery god. Some speedy aid to send. No dolphin came, no nereid stirred, nor cruel tongue, nor Susan heard. A favorite has no friend. She called all the gods, all the watery spirits to come for her help. She is praying the God to send some helping hand to save her. No dolphin came, no nereid stirred. None of the animals came to her help. Nereid, no sea spirits. No other animals came to her help. Tom and Susan, though they are there near to Salima, but they showed their indifference to help her. Nor cruel Tom nor Susan heard. These two names are the names of cats. Tom and Susan, who are near to this Salima, didn't come for her help. So, there is a message left by the cat Salima. A favorite to the owner has no friend. A favorite always excites jealousy and not goodwill in others. Where Salima was a favorite of her owners and Tom and Susan were not the favorite, so they feel that it is not to go to help Salima and save her life. Coming to this stanza, from hence, a beauties undeceived, know one false step is never retrieved, and be with caution bold. Not all that tempts your wandering eyes and heedless hearts is lawful prize, nor all that glitters gold. This is the message to the beautiful woman, not to get deceived with a one false step, because a false step ahead cannot be retrieved again. Through this poem, he is warning all the women not to get tempted with their wandering eyes, and heedless hearts is lawful prize. So he wants the ladies to have a care and attention before getting into a bold enterprise. They should know their limits and never get tempted to an illegitimate commodity. And they should know that all that glitters is not gold. With this ode, Ode on the Death of Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes by Thomas Gray, is a remarkable poem and tells us a story with a message and brings out number of pictures which is imaginative, and the images brought in the ode are realistic and vivid. With this, I come to the end of the poem. If you want to have a further reading, you can refer to the text Spectrum 1 Compulsory Foundation Course in English for the BBA degree program semester 1. Thank you and have a nice day.